Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of Literature for Africa. Once again, it's with immense delight that we want to recognize the contribution of our partners, the Imo State government, led by His Excellency, the Governor Hope Uzodinma, and Eustabel Secondary School here in Itogada LGA, or where not LGA, sorry, and its most enterprises. My name remains MC Likiliki, and today we are going to be taking the next poem in the set books that WAEC, as the West African Examination Council, has recently sent to us. Today we are taking the poem by Gabriel Okara, and it's titled Once Upon a Time. Okay, so this poem is a narrative poem with a very interesting and striking theme. Okay, now if you read the title Once Upon a Time, and it will remind you of something that that's very common in African tradition. During the dusk time of the day, you see the elders will always gather children to tell them stories, and the stories that will tell them will always begin with this phrase, once upon a time. Okay, yeah, so when you look at this title, it reminds you that a story is about to be told. Okay, so this poet has taken this form, all right, a form of a story, to make a very salient contribution to his society. Okay, this is a society where there is moral atrophy, all right, which a society where the value system has collapsed. Okay, so he has adopted a story format to tell the people in his society where the rain began to beat them. Okay, like Achebe would say. All right, so let's look at the first stanza of the poem, and then we'll do the analysis that we normally do, bring out the themes, and then a few literary devices that we have identified for you. Okay, so remember, this is not to discourage you from attending your classes with your teachers, your literature classes. So make sure you pay attention to what the teachers are telling you. This is just a contribution. All right, so once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes, search behind my shadow. All right, now it's very, very important for you to note the word son. Okay, once upon a time, son. All right, this son that's here connotes two things. Okay, one, the biological type of son. Okay, if you give birth to someone, to a baby boy, okay, the person will be called your son. All right, yes, but there is another interpretation to this son. Okay, yes, because you see, there is a very common phenomenon or attribute or characteristic of the poetry of Gabriel Okara. Okay, it belongs to that tradition they call the Oshundere generation of poets. Okay, yes, they normally call them the Badon Soka School. Okay, those people that opposed what Wole Soyinka and his generation did. That is, demytholizing the poetry format. Instead of being so obscurantic, they made it so simple that you can read poem and enjoy it. You can read a poem and enjoy it. Okay, so that's the class of poetry that we have identified the poet to be writing. Okay, poetry that is not consistent with the tradition of obscurantism and esotericism. Okay, poetry that you can read and understand very easily and appreciate. Okay, yes, so now the word son connotes two things. First, biological son. Then, secondly, that when a child is born, there is a stage so the child will get to this. The child will start knowing the good and the bad. Okay, yes, you will become a son here when you attain that age where you can differentiate between what is good and what is bad. Right? When you begin to use your common sense, your initiative to know that this thing is, condemnable. It's not what somebody should, do. Right? So that coming to that age of maturity where you can discern for yourself what is good and evil is, when you attain the stage of sonship. Okay. Now remember that the common phenomenon here is, what they call the duality, phenomenon, where you have binary existential binaries. Okay, you have these polar binaries, the good and the bad, evil, and the two extremes. Okay, so the duality of human existence is what this son here particularly is making reference to. Okay, so it's not necessarily the biological son, but someone who has attained that level and stage of differentiating or deciphering what is good and what is evil. So they laugh with their heart. That means when human relationships are based on sincerity, all right? Yes. But if you see later in that verse, they say he now said they laugh with their teeth. You see? So this is a clear indication that the society moved from that era where people speak, the truth to one another, where people treat one another sincerely, to an era of hypocrisy, all right, where what I do is because I want to gain something from you, so I would just do anything that I can, including things that are untoward, in order to benefit something from you. I can use any means possible to get myself enamored by you. Okay, so that's what the poet is frowning at. Okay, now you see the first theme that we have identified for you, because we're not going to read the whole poem because of time constraint. The first theme is that the African society, all right, value what they call the spirit of communalism, the spirit of togetherness, where people live together, share their burdens and whatever that's bothering them together, and bring us solution that will move the society forward. Okay, so even if you look at the title of the poem, Once Upon a Time, there was a time where everybody took, if you see someone, you take that person as your brother and as your sister. Okay, but that sincerity and bond of societal bond, like they used to call it, has been severed by superciliousness. Cosmetic type of relationship has taken over that tradition. Okay, people no longer deal with each other with sincerity. Okay, so the first poem is that there is need for people in the society to eschew inordinate ambition, to avoid being unnecessarily selfish, but to be their brother or sister's keeper. All right, that's the first poem, the first theme. And the second theme is that even if a number of people, a good number of people are doing what is bad, that shouldn't make you to join the bandwagon. Okay, to now begin to compromise, like it's found in the third verse of that poem. It said, "Feel at home, come again," they say, "and when I come again and feel at home once, twice, there will be no tries, for then I find the doors shut at me." So in the fourth verse it said, "So I have learned many things, son, I have learned to wear my faces like dresses, at home, at office, the street, you know, cocktail face. There are different, faces that's camouflage. There's different show that the persona is putting up in order to make sure he takes advantage of people in the society. So what we're saying is that no, irrespective of the fact that a large number of people or numerous number of people are doing what is bad, okay, that shouldn't make you to now start doing that which is bad. Okay, so you would later find out in the later part of this poem that the person later regretted, because he said, I want to unlearn, I want to throw away all these things that I've learned, because I found out that they didn't help me in any way. All right, so the third theme is the theme of survival. Okay, yes, human beings are imbued or wired with what they call survival instinct. Okay, they don't in any way accommodate anything that will be a threat to their existence. Okay, anything that will be a threat, they will do everything possible to overcome such things. So the theme of survival. Now the final theme is what we call the theme of repentance. Okay, so this person has come to understand that this thing is